All right. We are live. Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Jackie, and my friend today, Kristin Reed, is joining me for our 55 Steps to the Light member motivation. And I'm super thrilled to have her with me. She's coming from Seattle, Washington, and I'm here in Alaska, and we are joining forces to talk about self-care. Yeah. Self-care it is. So again, all these videos that we're doing for member motivation have to be happen to be, was what I meant to say, wrapped around what do we do? What do we pull out of our trunk every day to step into a place where we feel balanced, where we can feel better about ourselves, where we can kind of step out of any self-sabotaging that might be going on. During a time of so many changes going on with the planet, there's a lot of us that seem to go fluctuating into this roller coaster of emotions every now and then. And we sometimes need something backed up in that big trunk in our house. What can we pull out to utilize in order to bring about the peace and the joy back into our lives? And so that's what I'm here today to talk to Kristin about. She has got a company called Abundant Earth Herbals, and we're going to talk a little bit about that business as well. But first off, I'm just going to turn it over to Kristin and ask her, how did you end up adapting something that has to do with the earth into your self-care?
All right, that's a great question. So I think that, well, I will say I definitely grew up very disconnected from nature and all that. I grew up in North Texas, and there's not a lot of beautiful things outside. It's very hot and just kind of not very inviting to just like be outside all the time, basically. So I was just never really very interested in being outside. Once I moved up to the Pacific Northwest, I actually started working with herbs through my Thai massage training. So a big part of Thai medicine and Thai massage is included in that is herbal therapies. And so I kind of started studying that for my bodywork practice and just kind of fell in love with the formulas we would make. They were internal and external formulas, and just compared to like pharmaceuticals, like just how you feel using natural products on your skin, and just incorporating them into your everyday life, that really kind of piqued my interest. And so from there on, I started to kind of study herbs more, and also being in the wonderland of the Pacific Northwest, I started spending more time outside and started studying more herbs and plants that were closer to home, instead of just plants that were from this Asian modality. So, because we have there's amazing medical plants all over the world. So I was kind of interested in like seeing what was around here. And the more I started to learn, the more it kept taking me outside. And the more I was spending more time outside, learning about the plants and the rhythms of nature and all that, I definitely started to notice a change within myself. And the more I spent there, the more I wanted to spend there. And it's just been kind of building. Still, I consider myself very much a novice, but I love learning about it. And I love kind of the direction this journey is taking me. So I'm interested to see, where it will go as I continue on.
Yeah.
My studies.
That's pretty common though, isn't it? That we find something, sometimes we even fall into it, kind of like you did. You said you got into it because you got into Thai yoga massage and it introduced something. And then how interesting that you dove into it, but then because it resonated, we'll say that it resonated with you. And then we end up diving deeper and learning even more. And so it's kind of like that's the great thing I think about when we find something like you did that is so powerful that it's never meant to not be learning, right? It's I guess what they would call a continued self-care.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff that you're using then, you're actually picking yourself.
So yeah, I mean, it really depends. Like my focus in the past year or two, well, yeah, maybe a little over a year, my focus has really been to learn more about local plants, just for sustainability purposes, and also just to get me outside and more connected to the things that I'm actually making. But so that is definitely a direction I'm trying to go and do more of. But I'm still very much deeply into studying Thai herbal formulas and just different herbal medicine from around the world. I think the cool thing about living in such a global society is that we can take advantage of things from all over the world. And so I still do learn about formulas from other places and like to incorporate those things. But as much as I can, I like to get outside and, if possible, wild harvest things sustainably here in the area.
Oh, that's so fantastic. And it sounds so fun.
It's pretty fun once you start learning about your local plants. Like, even if you have no interest in actually harvesting them and making your own like medicine and things, it's so fun to learn about your local plants. And once you learn about them, you can't not see them every single place that you go. Like, just walking down the street to go to the grocery store, it's like, there's this herb and there's this herb and there's this tree and there's this thing. Like, we're surrounded by medicine all the time.
Amazing.
So it's really fun. And it's, if you are looking to connect more to nature, like I find for me, that makes me more, it's a way to make me more observant and aware of my surroundings. Like, that's how my brain likes to connect. It was a good introduction for me.
Right.
To start connecting to the stuff around me.
And would you say that it's made you feel, I mean, obviously you're still doing it. It makes you feel better.
Oh yeah. I love it. And it really helps me get grounded, and I feel like it helps me connect more with the cycles of nature, because I'm definitely that type A go, keep going personality.
Yeah.
And so as I've been spending more time in nature and learning about the cycles and the seasons and all that, I'm starting to allow myself that permission to like move with the cycles and move with those energies and take the pauses. And like, I just had a lovely, like, still introspective winter, and I'm feeling now that spring is starting to pop up, and I'm actually very excited to get going again. But I definitely needed that winter season so badly to rest and recover. And in the past, that isn't something that I would have necessarily, acknowledged and utilized. Wow. But now it's something that, I can respect and like incorporate into my life, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think a lot of us are learning now, especially maybe this winter more than any other winter in the past, learning what that self work can do. It's like a self-realization and going into that quiet space and going within. I think there's a lot of people that kind of got accustomed through conditioning that we were just always looking externally for things to help us understand and grow with our, but knowing that you can go inside. And yeah, I'm glad that that's helped for you as well. It did me too this year. Definitely a lot. How much time do you typically, so like when you're making this, because again, I remember, because you and I have known each other a long time, and it wasn't until like you really started with the Thai yoga massage and then making your own herbal remedies of such for your clients. And then you were spending I was like, how much time are you spending in the kitchen?
Yeah. So like, well, it really depends. So one of the things I will say, I love working with herbs, love and hate, because it's a good lesson for me. You know what I mean? So everything with herbs takes a very long time. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily all hands-on time. A lot of it is hands-off time, but like you cannot rush pretty much anything with herbs. So, which again, with my personality, like it's a very good practice for me and a lesson in patience, because I'm that like, I need this done yesterday type person. So, so a lot of the traditional formulas I make are things that you might prepare the herbs or the spices or whatever it is, and they need 4 to 6 weeks or more to do their thing, which is all hands-off time. But some things, a lot of the oils actually do go much quicker, but it's still definitely like a multi-day process. But it's just like you do a little bit, you wait, do a little bit more, you wait, and then 3 days later, 4 days later, you finally have it all like bottled and like done. But it's a practice in patience, which is challenging but good. But a lot of it is, I don't know, it's just very therapeutic to just sit and be with the plants while you're taking this time to like sort and prepare and like do all this stuff. So
that's so cool. Yeah. I think that's so cool. I really do. I think that's amazing. And of course, I just feel so lucky that I know you, because I was able to find out a long time ago, when you first started making them, to be able to test them and and give you my opinion.
You were like my testing person, weren't you? I was like, send you stuff. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, it was awesome, and I'm so glad that you decided to actually start selling them so that people anywhere can actually benefit from them as well. There's a lot of love that goes into your products, and I know I'm a huge fan. So
Thank you.
so let's talk about some of the stuff that you make, because you make all kinds of cool stuff. So tell me, let's see, the first thing, tell me again, because this is all about, you're doing this because it brought so much joy. I could tell, like you started doing this and your personality, you just like lit up, because you light up every time you talk about the plants. And I know that that's going to resonate with people out there. What was the first thing that you did? What was the first thing that you concocted and made that was like in your heart going, I need to be made?
That's a really good question. So I honestly think the very first thing that got me hooked was one of the Thai formulas from a class I took many years ago. And it's, they're called, so in Thailand, herbal inhalers are very popular. They're used widely by everyone all the time. And they're called yadomes. Okay. And so I have one. So it's a collection of resins and herbs and spices. And it kind of just looks like a mess. I don't know if you can even really see it, but you've had some of these inhalers, right?
Yeah.
So it has to sit for 6 weeks at least. But I had never, the smell is so invigorating and life-giving and relaxing. Like it just like takes you into your body. Like you can't not, you know what I mean? Like come back into your body, and it like both calms and invigorates your mind at the same time. And I don't know, I just remember we were making them, and my teacher had some big jars of it, and we were passing it around. And the first time I stuck my head in that giant jar, I was like obsessed. I was just like, this is amazing. So that's like one of my favorite things. People love them. I pack them in little containers, so you can like take them with you to go. And I don't know, when I first, that just for some reason, that was that first thing that just like hit me, and
Yeah.
I was in love with it.
That's so cool. Changes your life forever.
Yes.
All right. And then what else? What other kind of stuff? So you make inhalers to where you're taking the herbs and people can actually inhale them. That sounds like a fantastic idea for people that are getting ready to meditate. You can have that.
They are wonderful for meditation. There's different formulas. These are traditional recipes, but there's different formulas. Some are supposed to be more grounding. Some are supposed to be more uplifting. They're great for any sort of congestion and all that kind of stuff. I know my husband has, sometimes he has like asthma sometimes, but sometimes when he feels like he kind of has a little bit, not like an asthma attack, like I'm not saying it cures an asthma attack, but sometimes when he feels like a little bit of that tightness in his chest, he'll actually breathe it in like through his mouth and like breathe the herbs in, and he finds that really helps open and dilate all the vessels. What was your question? You were asking about
and then no, that was it. That was good.
Oh, okay.
I was just talking about like things that the inhalers were helping with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But okay, so what are some of the other things that you're making?
So some of my things that I make a lot of now that I love are herb infused oils for like body oils and things. And I love this, like personally for self-care, this has been a great thing for me. Because I am not the type of person like necessarily takes time to like take care of my skin and like slow down and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I like know that I should, right? And I don't like covering myself in lotion and all these things. Anyways, so the thing I love about herbal oils is I feel like it really harnesses the vibration of the plants, and I kind of made myself start to incorporate these into my practice, even if I just put it on my feet before bed or put a little bit on my skin after like a shower, like taking literally like 2 minutes to do that. The energy and the vibration I feel like I get from the plants, which are infused into the oil, it really resonates with me a lot. So that's made a big difference for me, which is why I love making them. So I've been making a lot of those lately.
I have my lavender oil.
Is that the lavender?
So easy, guys. I put it on my hands every night before I go to bed. It's amazing.
Yay. I love that lavender one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a nice one that I make with a lot of things that are more local. It's a good way to use those kind of herbs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Tell us a little bit. I'm going to hold up my moon salve. It might be backwards for people.
Oh yes. No,
tell us about that one.
To me.
So tell us about these.
Yeah. So the moon cycle salve, I made it as a salve. My idea behind it was for menstrual cycles. So, when you have like cramping or discomfort, it's made with a lot of herbs that are either anti-inflammatory, analgesic, pain relieving, but also or blood moving, and just like women's herbs that smell amazing.
Amazing.
It's got cottonwood in there, which is just like absolute heaven. I don't have that on me. So what is it? Cottonwood, myrrh, which is ruled by the moon, and it's rose, mugwort, and I think there's something else in there, or it might just be those four. But also, aside from the just pain relieving, anti-inflammatory like qualities of it, the energy, they're all like feminine energy plants. So I just love the energy of that salve personally. Like I love to use it, and it smells divine. So like, especially when you're like having a red tent day, if you do that kind of thing, like that's like so nice to rub on your back and your abdomen and your feet, and just like bathe in the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I opened this, I was like, oh my God, this smells good. You know, I mean, most people that know me know that I don't do fragrance. I don't do perfumes. I'm just like, and like essential oils were the only thing that I could tolerate because I'm so sensitive to snow's falling off my roof. It scared me. Sensitive to smells and stuff, but man, I smelled that and I was just like, wow, that smells amazing. So let's talk about amazing. Do you we share, and you mentioned feet. Well, you mentioned talk about your foot stuff.
Oh, I have. So the nice thing about the feet, so the feet, you know, we know from like acupressure, right? Like the feet connect to the rest of the body. Also, what's absorbed through your feet can affect the rest of your body. So all of these formulas that I use are really great to massage onto your feet. Even if that's not the area that's affected, you know what I mean? Because those herbs and the properties of the herbs are absorbed through your skin into your blood and can have an effect on the rest of your body. So I love to use on my feet the hops and lavender, which I have not made for a while. The bedtime salve. Did you ever try any of that?
Nuh-uh.
Hops for sleep.
Okay.
I remember I made a video for my Instagram and I had to like film it multiple times. So like I ended up massaging this hops and lavender stuff into my feet for like 20 minutes. And I legit like fell asleep and took a nap after the videos because I like kept having to like retake it. So I kept like putting more on, but it's delightful. Hops and lavender before bed are great on the feet, lavender on the feet. Any of that, like frankincense, anything that's like grounding and calming. My heart and mind blend, which is another Thai formula from my teacher, very calming to the heart and the mind. Anything with like the subtle winds, like the subtle energies, are really nice to use on your feet, because not only is that massaging action grounding and relaxing, but the properties of the herbs become absorbed through your skin, so it goes through the rest of your body as well.
Fantastic. I love it. Do you have a tell us about the foot bath tea?
Oh yeah, the foot bath tea. That so I was really excited about that. We have Douglas fir is our like tree that is everywhere as far as the eye can see, and it is fabulous because in the winter time and the fall especially, we have a lot of windstorms and just huge branches of Douglas fir will be downed, and so I never harvest anything from the tree. A lot of the stuff I harvest is actually like all my cottonwood has been knocked down by the wind. Douglas fir, everything's been knocked down by the wind, so I'm not actually like taking from the plant. All the lichens I harvest have already been like knocked down by the wind. Like you never want to harvest a lichen off of a tree because they take so long to grow. Anyways, that was a side note. But so we get all these huge Douglas fir branches down, which is just like so exciting. So I'm like walking through the neighborhood with my like giant Douglas fir branch, like I was like, what is this person doing? But so yeah, so I get all the needles off and I clean them and I dry them, and makes an amazing foot bath. Douglas fir needles and any type of evergreen are wonderful for circulation, aches and pains, and they have a very grounding but also uplifting, energizing scent and properties. They smell divine, of course. So making a tea, a very strong tea with those needles, and I usually add other circulation promoting things like cinnamon, ginger, juniper. I don't know, you can add a bunch of different things, whatever you have around, and you make like a really strong tea, and then you put that into a foot bath, and that helps promote circulation in your feet. In Chinese medicine, foot baths are very important for your immune system and to keep your circulation flowing. A bunch of really important meridians, I don't know if all of them do, but they end in your feet. So yeah, they might all, yeah. So keeping that warm and circulating has a very profound effect on the rest of your body. But that's something you can do at home too. Like if you have trees around with down evergreens with down branches, make a really strong tea, make a foot bath. You can put it in the bathtub. If you know as long as you know it's an evergreen. A Christmas tree, don't get rid of before you get rid of your Christmas tree, cut some branches and make yourself a foot bath.
Mm-hmm. Such a great idea.
Yeah.
And it does. It smells. That was the first time I got the tea. I opened the bag and I was like, oh my gosh, this smells like Christmas.
Yes. I love Douglas. Like I am obsessed with it. It's so good. It's so good.
Me too.
And I feel so lucky to be just like surrounded by them. I'm like looking at a bunch of them out my window right now. So
yeah, I don't think we have Douglas here. We have spruce outside.
You have spruce?
Yeah. If you ever want me to gather, I have tons of it.
Well, we need to have a conversation after this is over.
Yeah. Spruce and cottonwood, baby. That's all I have out here. It's that and aspen. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have a talk. We'll have a
okay.
We have spruce here, but you have to go farther out to find it, whereas I mean, I can just walk outside the door and there's like everything everywhere.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, I'm in the woods. So yeah. That's so cool. Oh, it's so enlightening. Let's see. You said you had brought some stuff too. What do you have that's around you?
So I just brought what did I bring? I brought some another one of my favorite things. This isn't local, but I do have an Asian market nearby that I can get fresh pennywort and
what's pennywort?
Asiatic Pennywort.
What is it?
It's also called Gotu Kola. And it is a very important herb over in Asia, especially like Ayurvedic medicine and Thai medicine. It is very good for brain health, I believe heart health, for your skin. It is very regenerative to skin. So it actually helps your skin cells regenerate and heal from wounds and stuff. So this is like this is the other thing when you ask like what got me into medicine, like herbal stuff, this turmeric and Gotu Kola. I don't know if you can see the color, but it's like bright yellow. This is like magic. If you have any cut, scrape, anything, and when I first used it for the first time and saw, I had a really bad sunburn. That's what it was. And I had this and it's supposed to be good for burns. And I was like, I'll put this on. And I mean, it wasn't the worst sunburn I'd ever had, but I was definitely pink. And before bed, I put it all over. And in the morning, it was legit gone. And I was like, this is powerful. Like plants are so powerful and they're all around us. And herbs are like the people's medicine. That's why I love it. Like herbs are the people's medicine. And not to knock Western medicine, like there's lots of important things that we need it for, but like there is so much that herbs can do for you, for internally, externally, and it's accessible to everyone. Like, and anyone can do this. And even things you have in your kitchen cupboard, like even like thyme is so powerful. Like thyme for like viruses and stuff, for like your throat. There's lots of things that you already have in your kitchen cupboard that can do a lot for your body. And so I just think it's really empowering. This is a little like random side note, but when I realized how powerful this was, it just like felt like empowered me to like use the things around me to take care of myself more. And we can all do that. Like, it's not just, you don't have to have a medical degree to make some thyme tea.
Exactly.
Or put some turmeric salve on. Like, yeah. So
and what's the name of that one again?
This is turmeric and Gotu Kola. And I use this for like anything you would use Neosporin. I use this instead. I love it. It's like my family's like go-to thing for everything. I don't know what else I really have. So my other latest thing with plants, is dyeing with plants. I just wanted to talk about that for a second because I'm like, this opened up I also paint and like love art. So then when I learned you could dye with plants, I got very excited. And so I just got a ton of nettle from a local farm, like a ton of nettle. And I just dyed a bunch of scarves. Can you tell it's green? I don't know how the lighting is. Isn't that a great color?
Yeah, wow.
Like it's this silvery, beautiful, like silvery green.
Wow.
And the cool thing is like dyeing with plants, it's like a living color. You know what I mean? It's not something from a factory. You can't get this color from a factory. Like, and it changes. Like when you take it out in the sun, it might make it a little bit darker. And as you wash it, it might a little bit fade over time, but it's like alive. Like as you wear it, you know what I mean? It just like naturally changes and fades. And it's just really cool. These I made from lichen, oak moss. This purple is from oak moss. And that's this stuff. We have it all over here. It grows a lot on alder trees. And so I harvested a bunch of it from the ground after a windstorm. But like it makes this purple color.
Beautiful color.
And I feel like the energy of the plants are like in the thing that you wear. Like, yes, it's so fun. I have a bunch of stuff I dyed with mushrooms too. Learned about mushroom dyeing. Made this shibori scarf. But it just feels like it's alive, like compared to like stuff from the store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna wear this.
It is beautiful. And I love how you said that. I don't think I'd ever really thought about that perspective before, but what a fantastic perspective. It's like you're utilizing herbs and plants to almost make a co-creation with this fabric, right? And then when you're wearing it, it's then meshing with your vibration. That's a beautiful perspective.
It's really cool. And I think that, also I love it connects. People have been dyeing with plants since, I don't know, the beginning of fabric, right? So like, I think it's another cool thing that like connects you to like ancestry. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like and same thing with herbal medicine. It's like, that's what my Thai teacher always says is like, people have been using herbs for medicine since like the beginning of time, like, and I think it connects you to that kind of like deep ancestral knowledge that like I didn't know was inside of me, but like the more you start to like get into it, the more you start to open that up.
Yeah, it probably triggers it and brings about memories that you didn't even realize you had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think that we're heading there too. I believe that as Gaia is ascending into higher states of consciousness, and so are we, and that we are going to, I think that it's just perfectly timed. You've gotten into this, and it would not surprise me if all of the knowledge that you've gained is something that will be shared with lots of people, and that we'll all start moving back into utilizing Gaia to be I had done a video maybe a month ago where I was like, what does your medicine cabinet look like? I was asking people, what does your medicine cabinet look like? Right. And my medicine cabinet is essential oils. Not a lot of people that I know personally can say that, but I know that there's a ton of people out there that are just like us, that we're all using oils and things. Even my chapstick is your chapstick. That's the thing, is we're putting Gaia on us. And I'm like you, I'm not going to completely dog Western medicine. It's great at killing things, but when we want to thrive, everything we need is right outside the door. with that said, maybe this is maybe what about this question? Like, do you have anything? Do you ever teach other people about the things that you know?
That is something I'm definitely interested in. Like, I don't feel, so I have done some, you mean like, do you mean external stuff or like herbal medicine? Like,
Yeah, like, do you ever like do you have anything in the works that you're gonna like teach classes or anything online that you could show people like how to do this for themselves?
that is in the works. I've been looking at some different platforms, and I did just join a platform called Burn Along. I haven't posted anything yet. It is I'm going to be having yoga classes on there, but I'm also thinking of, because I'm also have done holistic health coaching in the past, and I've done lots of herbal studies and things. So I've kind of been like, I'm figuring out how to fit all this together and just kind of offer kind of what we're talking about here is just like self-care classes. So I'm kind of thinking of incorporating all kinds of different stuff into this class, not just yoga, but like also having videos on like how to make your own, body oil, and how to make your own herbal tea, and, all that kind of stuff. Because like I said, like, this is the people's medicine. It's stuff that anyone can do at home. Like, and it's not hard. Like, you just need to kind of jump in and like find a good resource for getting started.
Yeah.
So that definitely is in the works, but I don't have an official like thing yet.
No, it's just putting that out there, because I think that everything that you're doing, if you have the desire to show and teach others how to do it, I'm sure that I know I would love to learn how to. Obviously there's certain things that are available to me here in Alaska. But yeah, I would love to learn how to use the spruce and the cottonwood to my advantage.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. If anyone is interested in this type of stuff, like, I highly encourage you to look in your area for either, if you're interested in like the dyeing aspect, like maybe you just want to get outside and learn about plants for textile arts. Like, that's awesome. Look up natural dye, look up like natural dyeing classes. They have online things. There might be something in your area. You can also meet like-minded people that way. You could also look up herbal medicine studies in your area. You can look up, there's also like Eventbrite is a good resource. There's a lot of teachers. My herbal teacher that teaches like Western kind of herbalism, she does some Eventbrite classes where they're all online, and you can learn that way. Like, there's a lot of in-person and online things going on right now, which is kind of one of the silver linings of COVID, right? There's so many cool online resources now. So, and a lot of them are accessible. They're not, maybe you don't have a bunch of money to spend. Like, you can find like cool online classes for, $40 or something, you know what I mean? They're not always like super expensive. And I would just encourage you to look around, and whatever piques your interest. There's also plant walks. That's a good one too. Look for local plant walks in your area. And a lot of times there's people who will take you to parks and things and like teach you the plants, like the medicinal or even just local plants. That's a really good way to get started too.
That is an excellent way to get started, because that way you are seeing with your own eyes, smelling with your own nose, maybe touching with your own hands. You are incorporating your senses in with Gaia at the time and learning what is around you.
Yes.
That's a great way to get started. I remember when I first moved to Alaska, I was looking up things to do that, because we have the rainforest is right behind me. And I was looking online, and there was a company here in town that did a berry, teaching you the berries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And that's what that reminds me of, is I had took advantage of that. And so it was like, we just went out on like a 2-hour walk one day, and the guy that was walking us through just walked us through the rainforest and was like, oh, go, here's the berry, and this is the berry. And, these you can eat and these you can't.
Yeah, very important. Never put anything in your mouth unless you are 200% sure what you're putting in your mouth. Number one rule of foraging.
For sure. Oh my gosh. Kristin, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your love and your passion for herbs and plants and everything that Gaia grows. It's been really fun. Just for people, if they want to know more about the products that you're making at home and to be able to get to know you a little bit better, where would you suggest they go to?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I am on Instagram. Abundant Earth Herbals is my, what do you call it, handle? Name?
We'll call it a handle.
I don't do the internet. I don't know. So I am on Instagram, and I have a website, abundantearthherbals.com. I also have my yoga, which is, and self-care stuff is going to be picking back up again here in the future. That's precisionbodyworks.net. But I'm definitely on my Abundant Earth Herbals Instagram quite often, and my website. I've kind of, had this winter lull after like the holiday season. So the shop is a little bit bare right now, but I have a lot of things coming up soon that I will be making, and lots of like textiles and things. So yeah, hopefully lots of fun stuff coming up soon.
Yeah, perfect. I'm excited. I'm always excited to see the new concoctions that you're putting together. And my body is grateful. I tell you, like I said, I'm very pleasantly resonating with the things that I've brought into my home and into my space that you've made in your kitchen with all your love. So thank you.
Thrilled. It's so nice to hear. Like, I know I love these things, but when I know they resonate with other people, that means a lot to me. So I'm so happy.
It's so important. Now is such an important time to take care of our mind, body, and soul. And because body is in there, it's using things like Gaia that can help us bring about that self-soothing that we're looking for, that helps us in so many ways. So thank you for your passion and your joy to step into that, because a lot of us are now able to help ourselves with your products. So thank you. All right, everyone. So thanks for joining us today on Member Motivation. And Kristin and I say thank you so much and have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.